Hey, today I'm going to share some tips on how to make great charts. So I'm going to give you simple examples. Here is a very simple table. We have 3 variants, ABC, and 6 numbers, conversion rate, and impressions. So first step, I translated conversion rate into percentage and also add a comma to the impression numbers. So you can immediately tell impression numbers in the millions. Now there's one principle you need to remember. We want to be able to drive actions from your data analysis. So in order to drive actions, we want to understand the purpose of this table. Naturally, we want to summarize those data, but summarization doesn't drive actions. So also, we maybe want to compare with historical data, but we don't have historical data here. So maybe we can just compare within those 3 variants. So let's do that. So I also normalized the impressions in terms of percentage, so we can have a better understanding, a very intuitive understanding of the magnitude of how big they are. All right, now we summarize the data into the correct format, but we shouldn't stop here. So the purpose of our data analysis is to present to the stakeholders so they can look at those data intuitively and remember those numbers after presentation. So I eliminated unnecessary digits and the data looks much cleaner. The art of presenting data is really about understanding the purpose. So how to present the data in the pragmatic ways, and make the trade-off of being right versus being useful, so the stakeholders can take actions from your data. So as a well-trained data analytics, you probably already see you can take some action items from this table after you clean the data, but a lot of audience, they cannot immediately tell. So visualization is really about how to put your mental model in your head in front of people so they can take actions from it. Okay, let's move on to visualization. So here's the mistake that a lot of people make. They tend to make information dense chart. So when you look at this chart, you feel like they're just trying to dump the whole data sets into one chart. So it's really about 2 principles. One is, what can you take away from your data analysis and what action you can make from it. So it really comes down to how you can make it easy for your audience. It's already very difficult to tell one story from one chart. It's really no point that you trying to tell multiple stories from one chart. So let's just maybe tell multiple stories from multiple charts, and then we combine them together at the end. So I will show you 2 typical mistakes. The first one is the rookie's mistake. And you really should use bar chart for categorical values. And the second mistake is pie chart. Pie chart takes up a lot of spaces, and also it's very hard to tell the relative proportions from a bar chart. So when I look at this graph, my first reaction is the maker of the graph is trying to dump the whole information on one chart without trying to help me understand what's the meaning behind it. So I'm going to plot the 2 bar charts separately for conversion rate and impression. So here's the horizontal bar chart I plotted for separately for impressions and conversion rate. So when you look at these graphs, you are already probably asking questions and think of hypothesis. Why the impression numbers are so high for A, but the conversion rate is so low. Maybe we put the A, some social medias that we does not represent the core audience. That's why the conversion rate is so low. And why the C impression numbers are so low. Is there something we can improve? Or maybe we can just put an A in a different channel. Also I color coded differently for ABC because when you look at the graphs, your eyes actually follow the colors. So it's a nice way to present information across different charts. I also calculated clicks based on impression numbers and the conversion rate. So for better understanding of the graphs, maybe you can ask more questions to find the area of the improvement and opportunities. Yeah.